You are welcome to Arise United Devils. I'm Kinsey Agbokaude. Yesterday, United played a game versus Everton. Well, we won the game, 2 penalties. Wow. Yeah, we won the game. But was the performance really good? I don't think so. Everton, they were better than Manchester United. Yeah, thanks to Alejandro Garnacho. We had 2 penalties and won the game. Anyway, as usual, the fallout for that match is in the news today. So there are a lot of things written about Manchester United today. So what we are going to do now is to read the news right away. Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana makes a personal promise to fans about Everton win. Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana has confidently stated there is much more to come from him after enjoying a turnaround in form over the past few months. United needed to bounce back after suffering a 3-1 defeat in the Manchester derby, and with the race for the top 4 beginning to intensify, they couldn't afford to drop points against Everton. Fortunately, the Toffees eased any nerves when conceding a penalty within 10 minutes, which Bruno Fernandes converted, and remarkably, the away side conceded another penalty shortly after that. Although Fernandes is United's usual penalty taker, he handed the ball to Marcus Rashford, and the forward sent Jordan Pickford the wrong way to find the bottom left corner. Everton created plenty of chances throughout the 90 minutes, but they rarely looked like finding the back of the net, and Onana recorded his 8th clean sheet in the league. The victory closed the gap to 4th place Aston Villa to 8 points, and Unai Emery's side play Tottenham, who sit in 5th position Sunday afternoon. Onana spoke to MU TV to reflect on the performance and said, "I feel good, happy for the victory because it was an important game for us. Every match is like a final at the moment. We had to be brave because we faced a really good opponent, especially in the first half, and I was happy with the opening goal. We are ready for the coming games." The interviewer informed Onana he has recorded the 2nd most clean sheets in the league this season, and he responded, "That means we are good at defending. The defenders, midfielders, strikers are sacrificing for the team, and that's what we work for. So I'm very happy with these numbers. There's more to come, much more. It took me 7 months to feel good in Manchester. So first of all, I'm very happy for the support of everyone because it was a tough time. In the beginning, when I arrived here, I received a lot of support from the fans, my teammates and the club. Now I'm better and I'm very happy. You will see much more from me, trust me. Hopefully in the coming years, we will fight for the big things. Hopefully we get top 4 this season because it's very important we get Champions League." That's not true. Erik ten Hag defends Manchester United's strategy amid more criticism. Erik ten Hag hits back at suggestions that Manchester United are allowing the opposition too many shots by pointing to the expected goals figure within their games. Ten Hag's side beat Everton 2-0 at Old Trafford on Saturday, but the Toffees had 23 shots, and it was the 5th time in 6 games that opponents have had at least 20 shots against Manchester United. It's also 10 successive games in all competitions that United have allowed at least 50 shots against them, and the cumulative tally in those games stands at 198. But Ten Hag said a lot of them were low-quality chances and pointed to the XG stats, which within those games, United's XG tally of 2.93 was inflated by 2 penalties on Saturday, and it was the 5th time in their last 10 games that they have ended the contest with a higher XG. Asked if the number of shots United were allowing opponents was sustainable, Ten Hag said, "We do it already for a longer time in many more games. If you see their XG, it's not that high and ours is much higher. It is their game plan. Obviously, we have players who feel comfortable to defend low, but you have to be disciplined and you have to incorporate it very well. It was a team performance, especially our back four with the keeper and Casemiro. They have done very well. Ten Hag was also asked how much faith he put in XG shots and whether the tally of shots will eventually cost United, a suggestion he played down by pointing to the quality of chances. Everton managed an XG of just 1.26 from their 23 shots. That's not true because there are low quality chances, Ten Hag said, of the quantity of shots. You see the chances, they have some. Also, I think the way we defended set plays was very good. We were really organized and we were focused. Everyone did their job. There was 1 or 2 second phases where they had some opportunities, but all over we did quite well. Why Manchester United changed penalty taker during the win vs Everton? Manchester United used 2 different penalty takers in their Premier League win against Everton, and Erik ten Hag said the players on the pitch had decided to make the change. Bruno Fernandes slotted the first spot kick beyond the reach of Jordan Pickford after Alejandro Garnacho had been fouled by James Tarkowski. Garnacho won another penalty in United's 24 minutes later, and this time, let me reread that. Garnacho won another penalty for United 24 minutes later, and this time Fernandes handed the ball to Marcus Rashford, who sent Pickford the wrong way. Ten Hag also name-checked Casemiro and Christian Eriksen as excellent penalty takers in his squad and said the decision to change during the game could help unsettle the opposition. Together, they decided on the pitch, we have more very good penalty takers in our squad. Bruno is 1, Rashi is 1, Casemiro is 1, Christian Eriksen is 1. We have others, and that's very good when you have that in your squad. When you have that on such a short notice, 2 good penalty takers, it is very difficult to read for the opposition goalkeeper. Ten Hag was pleased with how the game plan paid off against Everton, praising the work of Fernandes and Scott McTominay in dropping deep to get on the ball and find the forward runs of the wide men. I think the last did a very good transfer of the game plan by dropping deep and then getting the runs in behind from Garnacho and Rashford, he added. We expect a high press from Everton with their double six goes to our double six, and then we created the spaces in behind. I was pleased with that, and from there we scored the goals. Please let me read that. We expect the high press from Everton with their double six goes to our double six, and then we created the chances in behind. I was pleased with that, and from there we scored the goals. I was also pleased with how we defended the balls. The only thing that can be better is sometimes we can keep more of the ball and be more calm on the ball. Erik ten Hag lists 2 reasons he loves working with Manchester United star Alejandro Garnacho. Erik ten Hag urged Alejandro Garnacho to maintain a focus on improving throughout the week at Manchester United after he turned in another crucial display in the win against Everton. Garnacho won the 2 penalties that guided United to a 2-0 victory against the Toffees at Old Trafford on what was his 25th successive start in all competitions. The 19-year-old has established himself as a key player in Ten Hag's attack, and the Dutchman said he loved working with the teenager at Carrington, but said retaining focus during the week is the key to improving his game even further. I think he can, and it's about him. If he can keep the focus and puts the right effort in the game, but also during the week, if he keeps that focus. Sometimes for young players, it's difficult. Sometimes they are inexperienced. The coaching staff have a job to do. He is able to, when he keeps this focus, this attitude, he will improve from game to game. That is what we see in this moment. With young players, you always have to tell them, we have to work very good in the training sessions. In meetings, we have to be spot on to get the performance in the weekend. He explained that Garnacho is the type of player who likes to be challenged and praised his bravery and confidence on the ball. I love to work with him, but also many other players in the squad, and challenge them. He's a player who likes a challenge. He is very brave, very confident, he said. Our job is to push him to high levels. He's got high potential. Now we have to get the potential out. Therefore, you have to work day by day. Alejandro Garnacho reveals Erik ten Hag's advice after starting in Manchester United win versus Everton. Alejandro Garnacho revealed Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has tasked him with expressing himself, speaking after the 2-0 win over Everton at Old Trafford on Saturday. Garnacho, who has developed at a rapid rate this season, won each of United's 2 penalties against the Toffees. United had chances to extend their lead after the second goal, but they were unable to put a more convincing look on the scoreline. Garnacho was a constant threat, causing problems down both flanks, sending Everton one way and then another with his close control and desire to fashion opportunities. He was replaced by Anthony after 83 minutes and earned a standing ovation from the home supporters. Garnacho is now one of United's most entertaining players, and he suggested Ten Hag's advice has helped him grow into that role. The manager always wants me to go 1v1, to shoot, to do some dribbles, and today I won the 2 penalties, Garnacho told TNT Sports. It is important to help the team. The winger added, "Yes, I think it is very important to win the game and get the 3 points. We lost the last 2 games, so I think it was always important to be there. We want to be in the Champions League next season, so I am very happy." Bruno Fernandes breaks Man United record after already eclipsing Cristiano Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes wrote himself into the Manchester United history books on Saturday after giving his side the lead against Everton. United led the Toffees 2-0 at halftime of their Premier League match at Old Trafford, thanks to 2 penalties for fouls on Alejandro Garnacho. Fernandes scored the first penalty. His first Premier League goal since the 1-0 win over Fulham on November 4 put United 1-0 up, but also saw him surpass Ruud van Nistelrooy as the club's leading scorer from the penalty spot. His goal was his 29th in all competitions from 12 years, moving him past the Dutch poacher Van Nistelrooy and further ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo, who netted 24 during his 2 spells at the club. Van Nistelrooy has 12 at Old Trafford, 1 more than Fernandes on 11, meaning he still has something to aim for. Interestingly, Fernandes passed on the opportunity to move onto 12 at Old Trafford by allowing Marcus Rashford to take United's second of the afternoon. Fernandes has scored 70 penalties in the Premier League since joining United in February 2020, more than any other player in the division. Saturday's goal was his 48th in the competition altogether for the club, putting him level with Dimitar Berbatov, Robin van Persie and Dwight York. Meanwhile, Garnacho's driving runs into the box saw him become the first United player to win 2 penalties in a Premier League game. Unsurprisingly, the change of penalty takers meant it was the first time that United have had 2 different penalty scorers in the first half of a Premier League game. Erik ten Hag disagrees with Wayne Rooney after criticism of Man United star versus Everton. Erik ten Hag refused to criticize Bruno Fernandes after the Manchester United captain was criticized for giving Marcus Rashford a penalty against Everton. United beat Everton 2-0 at Old Trafford in the Premier League in Saturday's early kickoff thanks to 2 first-half spot kicks. Fernandes put them ahead with a camp penalty after James Tarkowski tripped Alejandro Garnacho in the box. But when Bon Godfrey clattered Garnacho later in the first half, it wasn't the Portugal international who stepped up again. Instead, Fernandes was caught on camera handing the ball over to Rashford, who kept his cool by finding the bottom corner with a whipped finish. It was the second time this season that Fernandes had given Rashford a penalty. Back in November, Fernandes received pelters from Roy Keane for doing the same thing in a 3-0 win. This time it was former United striker Wayne Rooney who was unhappy, although for different reasons. Talking about Rashford at halftime on TNT Sports, he said, "I think for me, I would have liked to have seen him stamp his authority down, tell Bruno Fernandes that he wants that first penalty. I know he takes the second one, but I want him to take that responsibility. As a goal scorer, you want every opportunity you can get your hands on to score goals. He did well. He's a great penalty taker, and Marcus should be saying to him he wants it. I know he's the captain, and you probably want to have that one penalty taker you can rely on, but I just want to see Marcus score goals. Maybe I'm a bit biased." Asked after the game if Fernandes gave Rashford the penalty because the team needed to rally around him, Ten Hag said, "No, he's good in the team. It shows the team spirit again. Bruno took the first, but we have more very good penalty takers. Bruno, Rashi, Casemiro. So we have more. Also, he did this at Everton. He gave it to Rashi. At that period, he had a difficult time, but this time he's good. He's in the team. He has a good spirit and is a threat." Wayne Rooney compares Kobbie Mainoo to former Manchester United ace and World Cup winner. Wayne Rooney has compared Manchester United youngster Kobbie Mainoo to former midfielder Bastian Schweinsteiger. Mainoo has been a shining light for the Reds this season, enjoying a sharp rise to the first team fold. Saturday's clash with Everton at Old Trafford marked a 12th successive Premier League start for the Stockport-born midfielder. The 18-year-old has become a staple in manager Eddie Ten Hag's plans, stepping up when others have failed to do so. Mainoo's sharp rise has resulted in cries for him to be included in England manager Gareth Southgate's plans for the European Championship in Germany this season. However, he is still eligible to represent Ghana at international level. Rooney has been massively impressed by the youngster so far, admitting that he reminds him of Germany World Cup Schweinsteiger, who he played with at Old Trafford. "I think he has been incredible for such a young age," Rooney told TNT Sports ahead of kickoff against Everton. "The maturity he shows. When you see young players coming to any first team, normally they are a bit raw and normally play off the cuff. He reminds me of a young Bastian Schweinsteiger in how he plays. He entices players in. He always seems to make the right decision. He has got a bright future." On Mainoo, fellow TNT Sports pundit Rio Ferdinand added, "I enjoy watching him. We talk about young players. I think our eyes are always open and looking for the next young players. He is a young player who, again, I think has that calmness. We can talk about ability. Ability is there for a lot of young players, but it is about what is up here in his head. And he seems to have that calmness and assurance as a young player that is beyond his years." So, we have come to the end of the news for today. Thank you for watching. Please do try and subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up. Thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow morning.